Hey, how you doing? So I'm back again. Got, got quite a few films coming your way now because um, a lot has happened, but a lot of stuff I haven't been telling people about, because it was happening at the time. Um, so I want to go back, like, because I've learnt so much, through being a targeted individual, and I like to pass on like what I've learnt, because I've learnt a lot. First thing I'm going to talk about is meditation, because as I'm going to put more films on, but I actually got sectioned the other day for a month. And while I was in there, I started meditating, and I found it like it was really helpful. I found it was like a really good method for reducing the stress. Being targeted and stuff. Um, what is meditation? It's it's hard to get a straight answer, but I'm going to give you one. It's a form of concentration. So, um, it's a very specific type of concentration where you concentrate on certain things, and that exercises your mind. It's like going to the gym really for your brain. It actually like strengthens certain parts of your brain. Actually like the connection between the the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. It's all to do with emotional response, and yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, meditation's been used all over the world, by Tibetan monks and practicing Buddhists. Um, Interestingly, with the Tibetan monks, there's a lot of talk of Tibetan monks being able to levitate, and they can definitely levitate like big stone blocks with music, and they also like allegedly can control their internal temperature. And they walk through these really high mountains that no one else seems to be able to walk through, and they're able to like raise their temperature using meditation, which is amazing. I've got a lot of theories about this myself, and I sort of like I suspect it's used for shape shifting as well by the demigods. When you hear of them shape shifting, I think it's a form of meditation. Um, but anyway, this film's going to be about mindfulness. There's other types of meditation, like Kundalini and Transcendental, but the mindfulness is like a Western kind of version of meditation. Um, okay, why do meditation? Well, because it can make you less susceptible to emotional hijacking, gives you a greater pain threshold, you get quicker recovery from emotional pain, increased empathy, you can cease and reverse all attention blinks related to age. That's to do with as you age, your brain starts to lose its powers, if you like. Increased capability of self-regulation, lower blood pressure, and have a 7.5 year younger brain than a non-meditator by slowing down the cellular aging of the brain. Cuts depression relapse by 50%. And loving kindness meditation reduces the effects of PTSD. Okay, so meditation has been shown that in studies that it changes the brain. Your brain is like a piece of clay, and meditation is able to strengthen the connections. In these cases, the connections between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. And the amygdala is the area of the brain which deals with emotional response, and by strengthening the connection, becomes more resilient and better equipped to recovery. So meditation is useful to lots of different people, such as soldiers, targeted individuals, people wanting to keep their brains young. and people who are emotionally challenged on a daily basis. So, basic mindfulness, is what you do is you get yourself in a relaxed position. You close your eyes, and you clear your mind, and you start to chant or imagine things in your mind. And by doing that, you actually, it's like you're going through it, And loving kindness meditation is about what you do is you project love onto your enemies and onto yourself, and you keep chanting that, and you do it for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and it lessens the impact that your enemies have, and it really reduces the effects of gang stalking, Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say about meditation, because I'm not an expert on it, and the best thing to do is to buy a book or find a class and give it a try. But it does work. Definitely does work. The other thing I want to talk about is clothing and being tracked. Because if you've followed me, I'm always trying to reduce my targeting, and I experiment with different things to see what happens. So I was living in Felixstowe at the time, a little while ago, and I went out a couple of times without my watch, and I noticed how my targeting went right down. I was like, that's weird, because I as you know, I haven't got a phone. Okay, so I'm sure if you've got a phone, they use that to track you. Right, but I got rid of mine, and I think what they did is they put something in my watch, and I twigged in Felixstowe, so I got rid of it and reduced my targeting. Still won't get rid of it totally, but reduced it. That's what I notice about all my methods. That's what you're likely to achieve is a reduction. I can't get rid of it. I mean, I just don't know how to do it yet. But anyway, so now I'm got no phone, I've got no watch, but my targeting's right down. Another thing happened. I was living in Ipswich around about winter time, in the Christmas time. Started getting quite cold. I had my hood up a lot, and I noticed how it didn't reduce your targeting. And it's a trick that celebrities use. In it, you see Madonna a lot, and she'll have a hoodie, and she'll have the hood up with glasses. It's a great technique. It really works. I started thinking, okay, I go in Lidl or whatever, or in the supermarket, and I'll be like, alright, I'll leave the hood up, see what happens. I left my hood up, reduced my targeting right down. Didn't get rid of it totally, Still get one person sort of like coughing at me or something, but if I'd have had my hood down, I'd have got harassed a lot more people would have done it. Yeah, I think that's what happens when you get yourself offline. They'll do you visually. So you've got clothes, and you've also got. I've always noticed if I start wearing new clothes, get targeted less. So, but that's the kind of methods that I'm using now, and it's simple and it's doable. And do you know what I mean? It's all useful to know. I'm not saying that you should change your clothes once a week. But yeah, you can you can reduce your targeting just by changing your look, cutting your hair different or something like that. If you're not online, if you're not carrying a phone. If you're carrying a phone, don't know. They know they've got software and stuff that just tracks your GPS. You know, your 3G or your 4G signal or whatever, or your phone, just your phone number. You know. Okay. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I want to talk about for this one. But listen to my other new films that I'm going to come out with, because I'm going to like really spill the beans about what I've been doing and what's happened to me, because I've been sectioned for a month into mental hospital a little while ago. So I'm going to talk about that a bit. Alright, so peace. See you later.